You guys need to hear about the story of Joshua. Joshua went to war with the Amalekites, you know, and the Amalekites were the enemies of the Israelites, and so Joshua was commanded to go to war with these Amalekites. Now, the day started, and they were at war with them. They were fighting against the Amalekites. Now, the war was so intense to the fact that the day was coming to an end, and the sun was almost going down, and the war still was going on. Joshua prayed and asked the Lord, I need you to stop the sun from going down so that we can continue fighting the Amalekites until I defeat them. Let me tell you, Joshua is a man of faith. It is recorded no one in the history of the earth has ever dared God to stop the universe. I mean, God entirely stopped the solar system because Joshua asked him to do it. And let me tell you guys, God stopped the sun. The sun never went down. Joshua fought against the Amalekites until he won. You know, this tells us one thing, that God hears our prayers. It is recorded that never has there been a time where God has ever had, took instructions from a man and really did what Joshua asked. Because, if the sun went down, most likely Joshua could have been defeated by the Amalekites. So Joshua said, I'm going to ask. So he asked, and God is so good. God is the one who has all the power. He stopped the entire solar system. Can you imagine asking God to stop the sun so that you can continue doing what you're doing until you succeed? I mean, that's how good God is. He entirely stopped the sun for Joshua. God is not a respecter of persons. Joshua dared and God did it. Maybe they dare to ask God the impossible. And because he's not a man, he's going to do it. Joshua captivates me so much because sometimes I think about, what got to him until he said, let me ask. Let me ask. Can you imagine if God stopped the sun? That means every other every other star in the sky or any other being that is in the universe, it had to stop because they all move the same time. When the sun goes down, the moon comes up. When the moon comes up, the sun goes down. They operate that way. So that only means one thing: the whole universe, the whole solar system was stopped by God because Joshua asked, and he asked in faith. And so, where are we going to reach if we only ask God the things that we desire? If we only ask God the desires of our hearts, we can do great things than the men in the Bible who did amazing, amazing things. What if we dare God to do great things? He will do it. He will do it because he's so good and he looks at your faith. And that is the story that really captivates me, because Joshua dared to ask and God delivered. He never disappointed him. And guess what? When the war ended, the sun went down. And Joshua went home with the victory. I'm sure he sat in reflection thinking, how come what went on? Like, really the sun stopped? I'm sure he was in awe of what the Lord did for him, because I'm sure Joshua really stretched his faith, and God never disappointed them. God never disappointed him, and he won the battle against the Amalekites. May we ask God to do great things. May we dare him to do great things. We cannot put God in a box, and try to think that he's this God who looks at our mistakes. Sometimes God wants you to stretch your faith. He wants you to stretch it so that he can show you his might. Dare to ask God great things and watch what he will do. Thank you.